Hello everyone, hope you're all doing well with your health and studies. Here I am again with yet another video, and today in this video I will be explaining the first lesson from your textbook Honeydew. So before I start my explanation, I will request you all to take out your textbook Honeydew and take the first lesson, which is the best Christmas present in the world. It is written by Michael Morpurgo. Let me tell you something about our author Michael Morpurgo. He is an English book author, poet, playwright and a librist who is known best for children's novels such as War Horse, which he wrote in 1982. But students, before I begin with the chapter, let me ask you few things. Do you like to receive presents? Of course, yes. I don't think there's anybody in this world who would not like to receive presents. Of course, yes. But sometimes the present may not be a material gift. It may not be an object. Sometimes the present can be emotions like happiness. This chapter that we are going to talk about is a backdrop of a war between Britain and Germany, which took place in 1914. This was the time when the First World War occurred till 1919. Now, let's take the lessons explanation. In the story or in the chapter, we can see that our narrator went to a junk shop in Brickfort looking for a roll-top desk. Roll-top desk looks something like that. The junk dealer informed him the desk he picked up was made of oak. The narrator found it cheap than the other he had seen before. Although the desk was not in a proper shape or condition, yet he bought it and started working on it. He took out the damaged cover. He observed that water as well as fire took a toll. He opened the drawers easily, but for the last one he had to apply force. He took out a tin box with a note on it with instructions to bury the letter with her. Out of curiosity, he read the letter that mentions the address. It was written to Mrs. Jim McPherson, 12 Copper Bridge, Brickfort, Dorset. So, out of curiosity, he read the letter that mentioned the address of the lady, McPherson. It was written in pencil. He read the letter. Her husband, Jim McPherson, who was the captain of the British Army, happily narrating an incident. It was the Christmas morning and they were standing in their trenches. He observed some white flags waving from the side of the German soldiers. They called out "Happy Christmas" loudly. Soldiers from his side also wished Happy Christmas them back cheerfully. However, the air of confusion was offering them to share snaps and sausages. About 12 soldiers started coming towards them in no man's land. Initially, Jim McPherson was apprehensive, yet he made no effort to stop them. He was rather happy that they were celebrating happiness. He further added that Hans Wolf, the German soldier, came towards him and introduced himself. He wished him Happy Christmas and told him that he used to play cello in the orchestra. Jim greeted him too and replied that he was a school teacher from Dorset. Hans Wolf spoke almost perfect English. It was very surprising. And also he knew the place Dorset. To this, Hans Wolf replied to Jim that the source of his information about English and the place is all from reading English books. The letter read as the narrator had the best time with the enemy celebrating. Next, the fun element was the game of football. They made goalposts by pitting greatcoats. Hans Wolf and Jim McPherson wanted to resolve the difference and would not harm their families because due to games or sports, nobody is harming each other. Nobody is dying, nobody, loses their family. But in war, many times the children become orphans, wife loses their husbands, they become widow. It's very sad, isn't it? Jim was sure of winning a game of cricket. The game was won by Germans anyhow, and to this surprise, Hans admitted that their goalpost was wider than Jim's. Now soldiers of both the sides bade goodbye to each other and felt that the night was a memorable one. Jim concluded the letter by saying that both armies wanted for peace. After reading the letter, the author concluded that he must give the letter to the owner. He could not sleep and decided to drive to Brickfort. He asked a boy the address. When he went there, an old man told him that he knew about Mrs. McPherson and also said that the home was burned. When he went over there, he could see the home was completely burned up. And now she is in a nursing home named Burlington House. She was grown too old. She was 101 years old, waiting for her husband, Jim. She was also mentally unstable. Our author, after reaching there, wished her Merry Christmas and described her how he discovered her. But she paid no heed to his conversation. Rather, she was smiling. She came forward with tears in her eyes. She mistook the author for her husband Jim. She asked the author to sit near her and read the letter himself. She wanted to hear his voice. She declared him the best Christmas present in the world. So that was the explanation of the lesson. So your homework for today is you have to learn the question answers of this chapter and also the exercises which are there in the textbook related to this lesson. Enough for today. Thanks for watching. So what we can understand through this wonderful story? This story has depicted a beautiful moral. It conveys that the war and the fighting only bring sadness and humiliation all around the world. One should generally follow the path of peace for attaining happiness in the world. So that's all, students. I hope you understood the explanation.